Amitabha Ghosh joins us now from Washington, D.C. He's the head of mission operations for the Science Operations Working Group at the NASA Mars Exploration Rover mission. Amitabha, it's good to have your expertise on our show. So you could say of this Artemis mission, the U.S. has been there, done that. What more is there to be gleaned from the moon?
Well, there's a huge thing. See, we were born in the 70s, and we thought that, well, the Apollo landings had happened in 69, and then now logical step would be there would be multiple more missions. Maybe there's going to be a base on the moon. There is going to be maybe a mission to Mars or multiple missions to Mars. But guess what? Nothing happened. We went to the space station, which is just 200 miles from Earth. And so you see all these visuals for the last 20 years, people doing something at the space station. Well, that's just 200 miles from Earth. The moon is 4.4 million miles away from Earth. And so at last, I think we are going to go back to the moon for good. And what you see today is the first step. They're doing this. They're not putting any humans in there because it's the first mission. So it's like a technology demonstration to see that nothing goes wrong. But what is not shown here, this is Artemis by NASA. The other thing which is in the works is by Elon Musk. It's called Starship. And it's an equally powerful, but much more cheaper, probably 1,000 times more cheaper to operate than the Artemis mission. So we are actually at the threshold of entering the next stage, which is perhaps my children's age. And they are going to see in their lifetimes, in the next 30 years, multiple missions to the moon, perhaps the setting up of a base, perhaps journey to Mars. And guess what? It's not just going to be NASA. I'm sure ultimately other countries will do the very same thing.
You know, when you hear about this next mission that could happen in 2024, if Artemis goes well, that would bring humans back to the lunar surface, including what could be the first woman on the moon, the first person of color on the moon. That's great,
Right.
but that also kind of sounds like a photo op and checking off boxes.
No, it is not. See, I think if you imagine the amount of work which went into this particular development of the of Artemis and the um, it's more than 10 years and maybe $10 billion of money and work. So thousands and thousands of people worked over. It's not a photo. It may sound like a photo op, but really this is like a long-term journey that they've just built a long-term capability which will be used over
Got
and
it.
over again to further the interests of NASA.
Excellent. All right, Amitabh, good to have you.
Absolutely a pleasure.